Good morning, Jay.
Hello,
Hi there. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm going to actually reach out to you when maybe this afternoon. I'll send you a message because I want to ask you for one of our annual favors from you.
Assuming it's my printer, I am ready.
Fantastic. You know it. That's perfect. Thank you. I'm thinking that because folks are getting ready for finals, we might have a different uh, turnout for today, but we will see. We'll wait just another moment or a minute or two while everybody begins to join us. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started in just about another minute or so, just giving an opportunity for some more folks to join us. Okay, so good morning, everyone. We are going to get started with our meeting. So welcome to our monthly Isla Vista Community Network meeting. As you all know, we do this on the second Thursday of every month from 11:45 to 1 p.m. And so thank you so much for joining us in our March Ivcn meeting online. And let me begin by reading the land acknowledgement. We would like to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Chumash people and pay our respects to elders, both past and present. We honor the traditional territory as well as the story and contributions of the Chumash people to the land upon which we gather and create. Thank you. So welcome. I am going to post on the chat the link to the agenda in case anybody has not seen it. And today, I kind of moved the agenda around a little bit to give us an opportunity to have a conversation about Deltopia. So my thought is that we will go and just do a round of introductions, and then we will just do Deltopia all together before we do everybody's own updates in there for the different agencies and orgs that do the regular updates. So if that sounds good to everybody, let us begin. My name is Diana Collins Puente. I serve as the Director of Community Affairs, Student Development, and Leadership for Associated Students. And I also serve as the chair or the co-chair of this Isla Vista Community Network. The only quick announcement that I have right now is just I did send out an email to everybody inviting you to join us this afternoon for a community safety call-in. That is going to be an opportunity for folks to discuss any of the issues around community safety that have been happening in Isla Vista and on campus over these last few weeks. I know there have been many concerns that continue to happen, so we want to make sure that we're addressing those. So I did send out an email about that. That's from 2 to 3 p.m. This afternoon, and hope that you'll be able to join us. I will now move on to Jay. Maybe you will get us started.
Hello, my name is Jay Freeman. I'm on the board of the Isla Vista Community Services District and the Local Agency Formation Commission still. But I'm not here representing either of those today. I'm here in my own personal capacity.
Thank you so much, Jay. And next, I will invite Viviana, and after that, Sydney, to introduce yourselves and any quick announcements you might have.
Oh, hi, Viviana Marzano, pronouns she, her, ella, Director of Civic and Community Engagement, Isla Vista Liaison, and Senior Advisor to Campus Orgs.
Thank you, Vivi. No announcements from you?
No, like I'm waiting to see about the Utopia. I think I announced last meeting that I think that the gift sale will be coming back this year. So I'm frantically fearing, that after 3 years away, what it would take to revive it.
Oh my gosh.
But I will give you more information next quarter as I, because I would like to engage all of you this year in the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Viviana. I can't even wrap my head around what it will take to restart that. It is such an incredible project. Would you mind, Viviana, maybe just for folks who might not know about it, maybe just give a quick description?
Yeah, so the gift sale, it's a gift benefit sale, started 30 years ago, say 33 really, but we stop at 29. And it started as an environmental project in IV, in the little room with the Ivcn meets, exchanging Tupperwares, apparently. Now it's a full, really great project. I collaborate with housing. They collect all the belongings the students do not want to sell. And I take Embarcadero hold the whole building almost for 2 weeks, and students living in IV can bring their things that they do not want to take home. We receive around 40 tons of donated goods that we process, weigh, clean, test, price, sort, display, whatever we don't use, we don't sell, gets back to the Goodwill. And 100% of the proceeds are donated to Isla Vista nonprofits who send their volunteers. We actually log in the hours that they actually volunteer for each organization, and then these organizations get the money. Just to give you a very brief idea of the scope of the project, I work with around 200 volunteers, and I hire 14 temporary staff for this. And between the two groups, we work around 3,500 hours in 12 days. So that's why I need a lot of volunteers, and I will tap into all of your orgs.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much for that description. And if anybody did want to either volunteer, I know that you also are always looking for funding for that program. Should folks just reach out to you if they have any thoughts about that?
Yes, we do have a set of nonprofits in IV that actually have historically received the funding, and some of you are here today. And so yes, we have a webpage that people can get more information. We are in the process of actually redeveloping all of our web pages, but I'm going to send it to you so you get a feeling. It's not updated because I wasn't sure if it's happening, so I will have to update it soon, but it will give you an idea.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, Viviana. And next, I will invite Sydney, followed by Jonathan. Hi, Sydney.
Hi, everyone. Yes, Sydney Kessler, Community Engagement Director for Isla Vista Community Services District, and I will hold our announcements for that piece of the agenda. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Sydney. Jonathan, and then Spencer.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Aboud. I'm the General Manager for IVCSD.
Thank you, Jonathan. Spencer, and then Inaya.
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. Spencer Brandt. I'm the president of the Isla Vista CSD Board of Directors.
Thank you, Spencer. Inaya and then Ashley.
Hi, everyone. I'm Inaya. I'm the deputy head of staff for the EVPLA office, and I'm here because Shannon couldn't be here today. I'm also the deputy commissioner for program board, and I was told that you guys might have some questions about some of our stuff. So
wonderful. Thank you, Inaya. And yes, when we're talking about Deltopia in the agenda, it would be great to hear from program board about your plans for Deltopia, if you wouldn't mind. And of course, anything else that you want to share about the work that you all are doing would be great. Thank you, Inaya. And then going on to Ashley, and after that, Luis.
Hi there, Ashley Cruzel from Supervisor Greg Hart's office.
Thank you, Ashley. Luis, and then Bea.
Hi, Luis Valerio, Assistant General Manager for the Isla Vista Lake and Park District.
Thank you, Luis. Bea, and then Demi.
Hi, I'm Bella. I'm the publicity coordinator for the Isla Vista Community Relations Committee. No announcements for right now.
Great. Thank you, Bella. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Demi, and then Ash, please.
Hi there, I'm Demi. I'm the coordinator for the Isla Vista Coalition for Healthy Communities 805, and I also work at the St. George Youth Center. No updates. We're just busy trying to plan some events and programming for our youth and families. Thank you.
Thank you, Demi. Ash, and then Rodney.
Hello, I am happy to be here today. I don't have any announcements. I'm one of the Parks Board Directors. I'm one of the Housing Co-op Board Directors and some other things. Thanks.
Thanks, Ash. Rodney, and then Anna, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rodney, and I am the Associated Students Isla Vista Community Advisor, and I work out of the Pardall Center.
Thank you, Rodney. Anna, then I would invite Jackie.
Good morning, everyone. Great to see you, and no announcements, but I love seeing you all. Thanks.
Thank you, Anna. Jackie, and then Lisa Osborne.
Yep. Hi, everybody. Jackie Curta representing UCSB Student Health Alcohol and Drug Counseling Program. No announcements from us. Thanks.
Thank you, Jackie. Lisa Osborne, and then Lisa the
other Lisa.
Oh, yes, you all go in pairs all the time, too. You show up at the same time. Lisa's next.
I'm Lisa Osborne, News Director at KCSB 91.9 FM, which is part of Associated Students.
Thank you, Lisa. On to you, Lisa.
Oh, I came in just the right time. Ooh. Hi, Lisa Oglesby. I live at Food Cooperative Board of Directors. No updates.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. I don't think that I miss anyone, but if I did, if you would please just raise your hand. I think I've got everybody so far. And thank you, Bella, for the note. My niece, his name is Isabella. She goes by Bea and Bella as well. So definitely understand those various pronunciations. So thank you all. As I mentioned at the start, I put on the agenda today a discussion or updates about Deltopia. My thinking was because there's a lot of information that is being generated around Deltopia. I wanted to invite the folks that are here that are going to be planning events around Deltopia to jump into this conversation. But the way I wanted to do it was to actually kind of open it up chronologically. So kind of beginning with the things that will be happening prior to Deltopia and moving then through the weekend. So if you will allow me, I will begin by just relaying to you some of the things happening in the week before Deltopia. The office of the EVPLA, along with some other AS entities, will be doing outreach and tabling pre-Deltopia, distributing maps and safety information, including the warnings of balcony collapse on Del Playa. The EVPLA office will also be conducting a number of workshops in that week before, including a Know Your Rights workshop to learn about the ordinances and the laws that will be in place during the weekend, an interpersonal violence workshop, a Green Dot bystander intervention workshop, and a naloxone training. I believe that is in coordination with alcohol and drug program. There's also going to be a lot of collateral that is going to be developed in the days and the weeks beforehand. That includes As in previous years, Student Affairs will be designing maps with information on street closures, noise ordinances, and community resources available during Deltopia. And that map is something that they will disseminate both through email and social media, and we will also plan to make some large format prints of that so that we can have it in prominent places throughout IV. There will also be, as in the past, the website, Our Isla Vista, has a Deltopia page, and that also provides information on the Keep It Local, Keep It Safe during Deltopia, including information on street closures, noise ordinances, and local events. There will also be, and I will turn this over to the CSD, there will also be door hangers being disseminated. I believe it is the week before. Spencer or Jonathan, did you want to speak on that item?
Yeah, the door hanger is going to be a promotion for the Spring Festival on April 2nd at the Community Center and People's Park. And it's going to have on the back general safety information that has some Deltopia specificity, like the festival ordinance on Deltopia will be laid out, but also just general safety information. It's like what we did for Halloween for anyone who remembers that one. And then Sydney maybe can share it, the Halloween one, in the chat. But yeah, we're going to do the same thing as Halloween on the back, like safety information, mental health, things like that, like how to report things. And then on the front was mainly an advertisement for the festival.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jonathan. I see Jackie has her hand up.
Yeah, thanks. Jonathan just answered one of my questions, which was going to be, I got an email from Sydney, I think it was yesterday or the day before, having to do with a door hanger for Halloween. And I had a feeling it had to do with Deltopia, but I just wanted to ask if Sydney, if you could send it around, because between the fall and now, I just want to make sure that all of our contact information is correct and updated. That would be fantastic. And thanks for doing that door hanger. I think it's great.
Absolutely. I'm happy to share it around.
Thanks.
Wonderful. And before we move on to the rest of it, I did just want to mention that we are keeping kind of a spreadsheet via a form of all the events and activities happening and lead up to the weekend and also during that weekend. I've just posted that on the chat. Would really welcome you and invite you to fill out your information on there. It doesn't have to be finalized information. You can indicate that it's not final, and then you can always come back and edit that information again to include updates that you have to it. We're hoping that this is a form that we can use for a lot of the various different messaging efforts that we have going, so that everyone has a consistent place in which we are adding that information. So please do add that. I don't think we've received too many things in that form as of now, and we are hoping to finalize most of those details over this coming week. Continuing on then, so those were all the things that were happening pre-Deltopia. Does anybody else have, Jackie.
Sorry, I just put my hand back up again. So a lot of us adapt or adopt information about Deltopia to put on our own social media. Should we be using, I think you mentioned that Associated Students will have a lot of information. Is that going to be our go-to for the way everything should be described and all that?
That's what we're hoping for. And
Okay.
certainly, other folks might do it differently, but that's what we're hoping, is that is the repository for everybody's information, so that you can put it there. And then the hope is that by the 18th, so that by next week, we will have that in as final a form as possible, ready to go out for folks, so that they can pull from there for their own messaging efforts.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. So that's all of the pre-stuff happening. And then things that are happening all weekend. I don't know if we have anybody from housing on this call, but there will be restrictions on university housing for the residents of housing for the entire weekend, beginning on Friday at 5 p.m. and ending on Sunday at 10 a.m. And that will include vehicle checkpoints, no vehicle parking next to residential spaces, and then also no visitors to the residence halls. The beaches are expected to be closed both Saturday and Sunday, and that is both the beaches on campus and the beaches in Isla Vista. There will be some fencing going up, and I don't know if somebody might have more up-to-date information. The last meeting I was in, they were still making some decisions about just how much fencing they would put up. There will be fencing on Camino Mallorca and some fencing around some of the residence halls, but it is a much lower profile fencing than in previous years, including no fencing along the El Colegio Centro Median. And I don't know if anybody else has an additional update on fencing that I might not have covered. I'm thinking maybe Spencer, I don't know if you might have any more info on that.
I do not have any other updates.
Okay, perfect. And so then moving on with that, there will be, as far as parking, there will be parking enforcement as in previous years in Goleta. On March 25th, those notices will be going out. There will be no additional parking restrictions in Isla Vista. In terms of road closures, there are no planned road closures in Isla Vista at this time, other than on the 6500 block of Trigo, which is in front of the Ivy Foot Patrol office. Of course, the roads could be closed if the conditions warrant it during that weekend, if law enforcement feels like they need to do that. There will be portable restrooms and hand washing stations at the Perdal Center and at different locations in the parks. And then in terms of Friday, let me see, is Omari on this? Oh, there you are, Omari, perfect timing. Hello.
Hello.
I want to invite you to speak about the afternoon concert on Friday, April 1st.
The afternoon concert on Friday, April 1st.
One, I can start off by reading what I have about it, and then maybe if you want to jump in with any more information.
Sure.
Perfect. So what I've got here is it is a harm reduction and recovery art festival. It is in the afternoon. The time is still to be determined. It's going to be art displays and 1 or 2 bands, along with educational tables and distribution of safe kits, safe use kits, including naloxone and fentanyl test strips. The goal is to bring people out to the event for awareness and provide access to safe use supplies to prevent overdoses. And this is being organized by Gauchos for Recovery.
Yes, and I wanted to say that everything is as you said, although they have moved the date to the following week, so it doesn't compete with all of the activities already scheduled. So that's going to be on Friday, the 8th, April 8th.
Perfect. Okay, then I will take it out of the Deltopia lineup. Perfect. Thank you so much for that update, Omari. And Luis, did I see that you had your hand up?
I was actually going to just say exactly what Amari said, because we met with Gauchos Recovery yesterday to talk about it, about the date change.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much for that update. Okay, and so then we are on Friday. There will be then no afternoon concert, but there will be in the evening the warm up at the Rec Cen. That's from 8 p.m. to midnight. And that is going to be featuring roller skating, a DJ, free pizza, a movie on the big screen, and an intramural esports Super Smash Brothers tournament, and more. And that is being organized by UCSB Recreation. And I believe that Life of the Party will also be tabling there and supporting that event. I don't think there's anybody from Rec Cen here, but if anybody wanted to add anything, any detail about that event, would welcome you to do that. Or otherwise, we will move into Saturday. On Saturday, all day, we will be doing a gift card giveaway for UCSB undergraduate students as a way for to have them pledge to keeping things safe and local in Isla Vista over the weekend. We are still deciding if it's going to be food gift cards or possibly even the bookstore gift cards, or maybe a combination of both. But those are really going to be trying to incentivize students to make good decisions over that weekend. On Saturday morning, there's going to be a law enforcement briefing, a community briefing, and I don't know if anybody from law enforcement is here right now. I don't believe so. That is going to be at either 10:30 or 11 in the morning, and that will be a virtual community briefing. So that link will go out. The opportunity for that is just to kind of get the most up-to-date information on Deltopia Day from law enforcement in terms of what it's looking like out there, what the deployments will be looking like, and any additional changes that they've made to their plans prior to that day, since much of what they're doing will depend on what's really happening, unfolding on that day. So again, that briefing will be from either at 10:30 or 11 a.m. There will be CSO safety stations on Saturday from noon to 2 a.m. And I believe that that's going to be at Little Acorn Park and Window by the Sea. Is that right, Spencer?
Just Little Acorn Park.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and that is being organized by the CSD and of course with UCPD and the CSOs. And then I will turn over to Spencer or Jonathan to talk about the Spring Festival on Saturday afternoon.
Sure, thanks so much, Deanna. I think at this point, folks have probably heard a lot about this idea, and we're so excited to bring it from concept into reality. The alternative event that we are planning for this afternoon is going to take place from 12:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. during the day. The board adopted sort of the purpose statement for what we hope it will be, which is the purpose of the Isla Vista alternative event is to provide a fun, safe, and healthy alternative space for residents to create and enjoy arts, culture, and food during the daytime event known as Deltopia. And so some details about the program, we're working with a professional event planner, CBF Productions. They're local, they're based out of Ventura, and have done a lot of work in the community, including the Concert in Your Car series, which some of you may have been made aware of. This is something they launched kind of during the pandemic when there were a lot of restrictions on in-person gatherings, and they were able to work within the COVID safety parameters to make a really fun event. So they've got a lot of experience. The program will feature 4 to 6 bands and artists that are going to be playing throughout the day. These are all going to be local artists. So when I say local, I mean from the Isla Vista community. And we are also going to have a food vendor there as well for purchase, as well as free water distribution to any attendees. There will also be portable restrooms on site, as well as sort of a seating kind of chill out area. So the goal is kind of to create a little bit of everything for different groups of people, different times during the day. There's going to be also some games that are going to be out there as well, sort of like cornhole, these sorts of like sort of festive games. As far as safety goes, there will be 15 security officers on site. That's sort of the event security, as well as 2 sheriff's deputies that we're contracting for, and an on-site EMT team. As far as COVID safety goes, this event is going to follow all of UCSB's newly updated major events guidelines. And we're very encouraged by the numbers that we're seeing right now out of the Santa Barbara County Public Health Department. I think we should all be really breathing. We can breathe for once, for the first time in a while, as our numbers are now back down to where they were, at the middle of last summer before the Delta surge. The last thing that I'll share is just kind of on the marketing and promotion of the event. Jonathan had mentioned that we're going to be having a door hanger that shares a lot of this information with residents. And our goal as far as the marketing of the event is to limit it as much as possible. We've kind of shied away from doing any sort of press coverage or anything about it because our goal is not to create a buzz around this until kind of the last minute. In hopes of preventing a situation where this could attract people from out of town to come in. We also think that in addition to that, having local performers is going to minimize that as well. This is really meant to be an event for local community members to give them an alternative to the party culture that we see on Del Playa and something super fun to do. So with that, I'm super happy to answer any questions about it.
Thank you, Spencer. I see that, Omari, you got your hand up. Please go ahead.
Yes. So my question is, I've already spoken with Jonathan about Life of the Party participating, and we're very excited about it. And along what Spencer was also saying is you have retained an outside organization to do the planning. So my question is, how can I get in touch with whoever's deciding the event location or spaces, because I'd like to explain our idea of what we plan to provide and find the best space for us.
Hey, Omari, I think I had responded to you with person CC'd.
Okay.
So her name's Annette, and she's CC'd on the email that I sent you.
Annette. Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Omari.
Yes.
Did you have a comment, Spencer?
No further comments, just a big thank you to everyone who sort of participated in this process. It kind of has spanned sort of 3 years now that we have been having dialogue with the community about how we can make this day more safe. We've seen in the past, unfortunately, that this can be a really unsafe day, and some of the behavior that takes place can be really unhealthy. And now we've learned so much through the pandemic about how important health and safety is to our community. And that's really the core goal of this effort. And I just want to say thank you for all of your input and collaboration to help make this possible.
I have a thought, Spencer. Yesterday, I was talking with a student who's a first-year student living in housing. We were talking about spring activities, and she mentioned Deltopia and how much she's heard about it. And then I said, well, I think it's going to be it's going to be different this year. I was just trying to, so I'm just wondering if it would be possible before spring break to kind of, I don't know when you are planning on announcing it. I know you're trying to, keep it somewhat contained, but even just giving housing students, many of whom are first years, just a heads up about the activities so that they know what to look forward to and don't go by previous reports of what it, used to be, as thinking that's what it's going to be like again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is a really great point, Jackie. And I will say in our conversations with the production company and with our board members, first year students that live in UCSB housing are definitely a core and very important constituency to this event, especially given that many of them participate in Deltopia, but they don't always have a place to go. And so because they don't have as many friends that are living in the Isla Vista community, they're kind of just wandering around looking for something to do. And that contributes to the crowding that we've heard can be a major safety issue for law enforcement. So that outreach in housing is something that's going to be really important, and it is something that we're going to be doing in the week that's leading up sort of that first week of spring quarter.
Great. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you, Spencer. If there are no more questions about this event for Spencer or Jonathan or the CSD, then I will keep going through the rest of that day. So thank you. Okay, and so then the Spring Festival, 12:30 to 5:30. That evening, there will be the warm-up concert from 7 to 10 p.m. And I will turn it over to... Oh, where did you go? Oh, Anaya, if you're still there, would you like to speak about the concert?
Yes, I'm still here.
Perfect.
Alrighty, so program board is planning on holding the warm-up on April 2nd from, like Deanna said, 7 to 10 p.m. It will be held in the Thunderdome or the Ivcn, depending on how you refer to it, and it is for UCSB students only. The doors will open at 5:30 so that we have time to check green badges at the door, because we will be checking green badges and we will be requiring face mask and things like that. So we're trying to allow more time for people to file in. We still haven't confirmed an artist, but we're looking to have one opener and one headliner. And we have been working pretty hard to bring someone that we think will draw in students, like away from the crowds on DP. The capacity for the event is currently 4,100. And we will have CSOs, police, professional event security there as well. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any other questions, I can probably answer them, but that's like the gist of it.
That is great. Thank you so much, Anaya. Are there any questions for Anaya, for program board? This concert is always so exciting, and I just love the suspense of never knowing who the artist is until right beforehand. I just think that's such a cool buildup. So thank you so much for that update. Okay, now some other things that are happening on that Saturday that we don't necessarily have a specific times figured out yet. Rodney, please jump in if you do have more information on this, but we will be having a chill out space at the Perdal Center outside. That's going to be, again, a space where people can come and get water. They can just come and kind of get away from everything else that's happening. They can use the restrooms, and they can also, of course, get information, and it will be staffed so they can get support if they needed to be connected to some of the other resources in the community. As you all know, we are not deploying the UCIV program this year. So this has kind of been our way of almost deconstructing that program and making these resources still available, but just in a different format. So we will be having that chill out space at the Perdal Center, and we will also be having a masked van driving around Ivy. And this is Beloved Community has outfitted one of AS's vans to become the masked van. And so we drive it around using kind of COVID safety messaging, as well as focusing on Deltopia and reminding folks to keep it safe and keep it local. And we'll be also distributing information, water, and the gift cards. The gift cards, unfortunately, are for undergraduate students only. And so please stay on the lookout for that van whizzing around Ivy. Are there any other updates for Saturday? Because we don't have law enforcement, I'm not sure if I should make a effort to kind of summarize what I know of their plans so far. I'm a little bit hesitant to go too much into that because I know a lot of it is still being developed. But let me just mention a couple of things. As you all, I think, know, or some of you who are new to the community might not be aware of, as we have been working in this coordinated response to Deltopia for many years, one of those conversations has always been with law enforcement around the things that we want to know in terms of, what the deployments will look like, who will be coming in from out of town, but also some things that particularly students, but also other members of the community have asked for over years. Things like not having mounted horses in IV, not having large groups of officers gathering in one place. These efforts at having better communication with the community ahead of time and during the event. And so those are all things that have moved forward and have been really law enforcement has been, I think, very receptive to. And so as in the past, UCPD and Ivy Foot Patrol will be splitting the streets of Isla Vista in terms of their jurisdiction over each of those spaces. UCPD is expecting to bring in some officers from out of the area with some of the other campuses to bring their officers in. However, those officers, I think in almost all situations, will be either partnered with or will have in their teams a lead, which is a UCPD Santa Barbara officer. They are really looking at how the weeks leading up to Deltopia pan out in terms of the amount of partying, the amount of citations, medical calls, all of that to help determine what the actual staffing will look like on those days. As of now, Sheriff's Office is not planning on using horses, although they will be on standby. They're not planning to have bike teams out. And they don't have any ATVs out. And I don't have those details at hand for UCPD, but I do believe that UCPD will have bikes and ATVs in addition to patrols on foot. There will be, and that is, let me see what other information I have for you. I think that's all that I will mention right now for law enforcement until they have an opportunity to give us any updated information on what they will be doing. Other than to say, I really think that the focus is much more on education and on helping students make good decisions as opposed to on zero tolerance or being really strict about the enforcement of the laws. They really want to make the approach first of having those conversations with the students. Are there any other updates for Saturday from anyone that I may not have covered? Okay. And then the last thing will be, it is being planned for Sunday, April 3rd, a post-Deltopia beach cleanup. And that is being organized by the EVPLA's office. And I think it will be in collaboration with IVRPD. That is, I think, all of the information that we have as of now. But we just, again, welcome anybody who's participating and who's doing any other events to jump in if there's anything that I've missed. I think St. George might also be planning some things. Raul, I don't know if you wanted to jump in and mention anything.
Oh, sorry, I was late. I was in another meeting.
No worries.
As of now, we're middle of planning summer and some events for the springtime in April, but they have been finalized. But I will have an answer for tomorrow. That's when we're meeting about it.
Perfect. That sounds great. Thank you so much, Raul. So in that sense, that is really it as far as the report out of events and activities for Deltopia. I wanted to open up if there are any other parts of the conversation around this, any other concerns, if thoughts about, what kind of size are we looking at? I know it's supposed to be a warm day or a warm weekend, but just wanted to open up if there's any other conversation about concerns that people are having or things that we have not already addressed in terms of Deltopia. Okay, perfect. So this feels like it's a really great coordinated effort as usual. So thank you so much to everyone who has been working on this. And again, just a reminder to please fill out that form if you are having an event or an activity, even if it's not an activity in the traditional way. If you're doing the door hangers or you are distributing information or anything that you'll be doing, we would love to have that included in that form. Having said that, then we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is report outs. And so I will invite Ashley to report out for the 2nd District Supervisor's Office. Hey, Ashley.
Hey, everyone. I'm Ashley. I work for Supervisor Hart. Thank you for that update, everyone, on Deltopia. That was informative, and our office is also plugged into conversations on the county end as well. A quick update on last week's board meeting. You might have heard the board voted 3-2 to deny the Exxon trucking proposal. We heard a lot from the Isla Vista community, so I just wanted to share that news. A lot of folks wrote in, sent postcards asking us to deny that project, and that is what happened on Tuesday. A couple of notable items coming to the board that might be of interest to the community. This upcoming Tuesday, the 15th, we have a status report on the criminal justice partnerships improvement efforts. A lot of folks in Isla Vista and the UCSB area have participated in public comment in those in the past, and I am happy to share the link to the agenda and the support documents in the chat here after I speak. And then we also, I don't know if you're familiar, but Supervisor Hartman's the chair of the board this year, and one of her initiatives is to do cultural and diversity celebrations every month. And so every month, one board member is going to be highlighting diversity in the Santa Barbara community. January, we did Holocaust Remembrance Day. February was Black History Month. And then this March, so on the 15th, we're going to be doing Transgender Day of Visibility. So if anyone is interested in participating in public comment, I'll also put that information in the link in the chat. And then we have our budget workshops coming up in April, where we're going to be working on our budget, kind of talking that out. And then I'm going to make a quick plug. Our office has openings on the Commission for Women and the Arts Commission coming up in May and June. Both of them are 3-year terms, and I'm happy to share more information if anyone's interested. And that's all from me for now. Thank you. Oh, you're on mute.
You mentioned 2 openings, Commission on Women, and there was one other one?
Arts Commission.
Arts Commission. Beautiful. Thank you so much for that update. Any questions for Ashley? Beautiful. Ashley, thank you, and look forward to receiving that information. And if you want to also email it to me, I'm more than happy to send it out to the network.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Wonderful. Then next, we will do Associated Students in IV. And Naya, did you want to report out?
Yeah, so I think the main things that I'm supposed to touch on are like you brought up earlier, there's a webinar today from 2 to 3 p.m. so folks can call in and ask questions and voice their concerns about some of the more troubling events in the recent events in the community. Also, the Public Safety Commission is hiring, so if you know of any interested students, they can apply on the AS Committee on Committees website. And then the Associated Students President and the Student Advocate General they started a program to provide reimbursements for Uber and Lyft rides to or from campus after 6 p.m. So I think we were just looking for some support and like spreading the word about that. But other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
That is great. Yes, I'm so grateful that the Office of the President, along with the other execs, really moved so quickly on establishing this fund to be able to reimburse students for getting back and forth from campus safely. That really was just so fast and so needed. So thank you for reporting on that, Inaya. Are there any questions for Inaya and the EVPLA office? Wonderful. I wanted to also just offer, Lisa, did you have any update? I know you just finished your fundathon. Did you want to report back to us anything on KCSB?
Thank you. That's really nice. KCSB had our 10-day annual fund drive, and we raised about $21,000. So that was right around our goal. So thank you for all of your support. A lot of it comes in $25 or $50 increments, and so that went really well. And it was an opportunity to do more than we did last year, since we actually had some live programs on. And it was the first time that our news was actually live in a couple of years. So it's great that our student news directors are getting in the studio, and now they know how to engineer and anchor their newscast live. So it was a nice little turning point for us. So thank you for letting me say that.
Of course, Lisa. And did you also want to do a plug for Inside Isla Vista?
Oh my gosh. So we have our weekly show, Inside Isla Vista still. We have our reporter, Jennifer Yoshikoshi, has been hosting a lot. And this week, which aired last night, and I'll put it up on our SoundCloud, it was Jonathan Abood and Dick Flax talking about the anniversary of the CSD, which was this week. So 5 years, right, Jonathan? So
wow.
Yeah, 5 years. So yeah, so thank you. Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. And if anyone has any topic ideas, feel free to get in touch with me. You can always email news@kcsb.org too, to pitch any story ideas.
That's beautiful. Great. Thank you, Lisa. And also, you always also welcome people if they want to have a PSA done on the radio, right, to publicize any event or effort that they're doing. They can also reach out to you for that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, countywide. So our signal covers the entire county, and part of Ventura County. So it's something that you would want the entire county to know about. We'd be happy to send me the who, what, where, why, when. Give us about 3 weeks advance if it's for an event, and then I can get it to our production coordinator, who could make a public service announcement for you for free.
That is fantastic. I know it has been so helpful to do that at many points along the way. Thank you, Lisa. Since we're doing great on agenda, I did also just want to open up Rodney. I don't know if you have any other AS update that you would like to share.
No, I think everything's been pretty well covered at this point. Most of it would have been about Deltopia or the non-Deltopia efforts.
Right.
But no, IVTU and LRC, they're accepting applications, or you can sign up for appointments for consultations. The LRC is for UCSB students only, but IVTU any housing issues for anyone in the community or even the greater community can contact them and make appointments. They are doing some in-person appointments, but they're also doing virtual appointments. So just want to let everyone know that that's available.
Thank you so much, Rodney. Such a critical resource, both Isla Vista Tenants Union and the Legal Resource Center. And Rodney, the Perdal Center, did you want to do a plug about how that's open for everybody as well, or the services that are available for folks?
Right now, pretty much every day, we're still having staffing issues, but we're we're in the process of hiring more staff, and we have some people from the food bank that are going to help us out. And then now that the quarter is over, we have some of our existing staff has more time. So, but we do put out a table every day with free masks and thermometers and different resource information, community resource information, as well as there's a wellness vending machine that's available for all kinds of wellness products. And that's when we have staff here, that's an open door that people can come in and purchase things. It does take cash only, just to be aware of that. And then when staff leaves, unfortunately, we have to close the door. But we are talking about opening the Pardall Center with some additional services and longer hours as soon as we get staffing up. The other thing is we do have printing available. If you send an email to the Pardall Center with your printing order, we can print up to 250 copies per person per quarter. And again, it's a little bit affected because of our staffing issues, but when you send an email, you send the file, and then we will let you know when it's ready to be picked up.
Thank you so much for that, Rodney. I always think that many folks don't realize that the Pardall Center was established by students to serve the entire Isla Vista community. And so, people don't necessarily realize that those services, I think a lot about the small business owners that maybe don't realize that printing is available for them in Isla Vista if they need that. So thank you so much for sharing those resources and that information, Rodney. Are there any questions for Associated students? Oh, Lisa, your hand's up, please.
I have one more thing to add for Associated Students. So the Environmental Affairs Board spoke during the public comment at the Exxon hearing at the Board of Supervisors this week. Like 4 or 5 students spoke, and even a couple of the supervisors mentioned, referred to the EAB at the end in their final comments when they voted against the oil, trucking the oil. And then their EAB statement was also in the LA Times, in a story in the LA Times about it. So that's just another cool thing that NAS group is doing.
Very nice. Go on, EAB. Perfect. Environmental Affairs Board. Thank you. Okay. So then moving on to the next item on the agenda will be the IVRPD report out. Hand it over to you, Luis.
Thank you. Luis Loyo, Assistant General Manager for the Ivy Rec and Park District. Thank you. Just want to quickly start off by thanking everybody who participated in our 2 events at the end of February for our Forward Ever, Backward Never event, which celebrated Black History Month, where we had a band, the Rockas, Sojourner the Poet and friends, and we had some amazing African drumming. And then everyone who came out to the block party, which was amazing to see that park activated with so many people. I don't think I've ever seen so many people in Children's Park, and it was great. Thank you to everyone who came out to the table. That was really appreciated. We ran out of food, but that's a good problem to have. Over 600 people came, so that was really awesome. And kind of just going off of the events here, we are going to be announcing our concert series schedule and band lineup next week. The concerts are running from on Saturdays, April 9th through the 30th. So we'll have 5 bands each Saturday. We did over the summer. Really excited to bring it back this spring. We did kind of a quick recap of all of the events over the year. And since August 2021 to now, we've served over 3,600 people through all the various events that we've hosted this year. So really excited. I know that was a big initiative of the board and staff at the beginning of the year to really host a lot of these community events. And we're really having a lot of fun doing it. And we've really enjoyed everyone's participation over the year. So thank you guys for all the continued support. Going into some park stuff. Cool Corner and the amphitheater, which had been fenced off over the last few months, are officially open. The fences have been taken down, and so please feel free to enjoy the park, the south end of the park. The playground section of AO is still, that's kind of where we're hitting next as far as some final renovation touches, but hopefully in the next month, that section of the park will also open and all of AO will be completely open. But just wanted to update that section, that south section part has reopened. We have been doing some pond restoration. We had some really bad invasive plants in both of our ponds. And so we've been doing that over the last month on Saturdays, working with a local landscape firm, Enviroscape, and they've been helping us out. The pond in front of Embarcadero Hall, that south pond, is completely cleared out of all invasive species. It looks beautiful. I've seen ducks and turtles now over there, which I don't think I saw before because there was so much hyacinth in there. But that's really awesome. And we'll be working on the next pond by the playground over the next 2 weekends. So this weekend and next weekend, and that should be then cleared up. And that'll be kind of the first phase of opening the playground side. This past weekend, we had over 30 volunteers come out to Swing Your Orchard. Thank you to the Edible Campus group, which was one of the main groups that came out. A few other student groups and sororities came out. We weeded and mulched all 31 fruit trees, which I didn't know we had 31, but there's 31 fruit trees in Swing Your Orchard, ranging from peaches to almonds and macadamia nuts. So much stuff in there. It was really awesome to be in there. And thank you to all the volunteers. And anybody who is interested in volunteering, feel free to email Clean IV at ivparks.org. We're pretty much hosting at least 2 a month, whether it's an Adopt a Block Day or a Park Beautification Day. We actually are currently in the process of hiring 2 Adopt a Block assistants, which should be hired by next week, and we'll be starting the first week of spring quarter. So that should open up more days for people who are interested in doing Adopt a Block. So hopefully in spring quarter, I think we'll be getting back to somewhat of a normal Adopt a Block operation back again. We've had some staff turnover over the last few months, and but we're now finally going to be hired and staffed for that position. So we're really excited about that. We are currently hiring for a recreation coordinator. So if anyone knows someone that might be interested or would be a good fit for that, we are currently hiring. You can find the job posting on our website, ivparks.org. And water fountains. Back in August 2021, our board kind of outlined with a priority list to improve certain park amenities. The number 1 priority was water fountains. We have put in an order for to replace 8 existing water fountains in our parks with new water fountains that will have a water bottle fill station on it. So for those of us who carry, canteens and refillable water bottles, our new water fountains will have a refillable water bottle, like push button station on it, along with the regular water bottle. And then for some of our dog friendly parks, we'll have dog bowls, sorry, for the dogs. So that's really exciting. Those are coming in at the end of this month and should be installed by mid to late April. So we're really excited to get that kind of checked off our list. And yeah, I think that's all I have for right now at the moment.
Great, you're getting fancy with the water bottles and the dog bowl fountains. That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
I love your report outs. I love hearing all the things that you all are doing. Rodney, I see your hand up.
Yeah. So if you're hiring a recreation coordinator, can I assume that you just got a promotion?
Yes, I've been got hired as the assistant general manager.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's wonderful. Oh, great, Louise, congrats. Well deserved.
Thank you very much.
Love it, great. All right, any questions for our assistant general manager, Luis from IVRPD? Awesome. Okay. Thank you all. Then moving on, next will be the IVCSD. Take it away, Spencer and Jonathan.
Hi, everyone. Great to see you all today. The first thing that I want to highlight for everyone is some of the great things that are going on in the community center right now that are available. We have Bachata, Salsa, and Cuban Salsa dance classes that are happening in the evenings. Twice a week. That's a great resource and just super fun. It's been really cool to see the photos of people having a great time in that space. You can find that event and tons of other events that are going on at the community calendar on our website. which I will put the link in the chat to. The community calendar is also where you can reserve the community center. There are definitely slots available to reserve. We just got a report from our community center coordinator, Maya, at our last board meeting, and slowly but surely those slots are filling up, and we've had, I believe, over 160 hours of usage on a, I believe that's on a weekly basis for the different, or I'm sorry, a monthly basis for those two spaces, the community center and the community room. So definitely encourage you to take advantage of that resource. And if you do use the community center, I just want to put in a personal plug. There's a survey that is given to those who are users of the space after they use the space, asking you about different, what your experience was like, different kind of improvements and benefits and drawbacks of the space. And I really encourage you to take that survey and fill it out. It'll help inform our board's priorities as we move forward into our budget season for the improvements that we want to make to the space. So wanted to throw that out there. I also wanted to share some updates about another subject, which is parking and transportation. At our last board meeting, the parking ad hoc committee, which is directors Jay Freeman, as well as Marcos Aguilar and Kirsten Deschler, brought forward an update about the request for proposals that we've had out for a while. And there's a specific firm that they have selected and want to move forward with. The firm is a woman-owned firm, and the principal of the firm is actually someone who's local to the community. She went to school at UCSB and worked at the Santa Barbara Sheriff's Office right after she graduated. She was actually Isla Vista's very first parking enforcement officer many, many years ago. And so she has a really deep understanding, we think, of the different dynamics that are at play. And of course, went on to have a very lengthy career in transportation planning, and this firm specifically deals with looking at parking solutions. And so we're excited to be moving forward. We welcome folks' feedback. There's going to be a future update on that item before we move forward with the contract. But the study is really all about trying to understand what the parking solutions there are that are available in Isla Vista right now, collecting data on the number of spaces, the areas of that spaces, and also doing a lot of community outreach to folks who do bring cars into the community to try to get a better idea of what the demographics of our vehicle users are, what other transportation options they utilize, everything from how often they park, how often they use their vehicle, to just learning more about them. And so that's a big component of this. I see Jay's on the call, and if you're available, Jay, and want to add anything else to sort of an update on that effort, feel free to do so.
I am here. Sorry.
Sorry, I put you on the spot.
I am here, but as usual, you've provided a very comprehensive and a fair summary of the issue. So I don't think that there's anything that I really need to add. But I'm here if anyone has a question that they would like to ask, because I was on the committee, as noted by Spencer.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks for that. And so there'll be more to come. Like I said, we haven't moved forward with the planner just yet, but it's something that really also we're doing in collaboration with other stakeholders, including the County of Santa Barbara and UCSB, because we know that any solution to the parking congestion problem in Isla Vista is going to need to be sort of our regional solution. And I guess when I say region, I mean both campus and Isla Vista and the surrounding areas. And so more to come on that in the future. And on the other side of transportation front, I want to hand it over to Sydney. I'm also putting her on the spot to talk a little bit about the recently launched Isla Vista Community Mobility Survey.
Absolutely. Thank you, Spencer. So we just launched last week a survey. It's available in English, Spanish, and Mandarin. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how many transportation modes you use. And the more information that we gather, the better we can implement and put into our community mobility plan. So I will drop each of those into the chat. So please feel free to share those with your networks and your organizations, because like I said, yeah, we can, as much feedback as we can provide, the better. So yeah, I think that covers it. If anyone has any questions, just let me know. But we are also offering incentives. The first 50 people to receive, or excuse me, to fill out the survey will receive a $25 gift card to the co-op, and then an additional 50 will receive at random another $25 gift card. So yeah, we're hoping to get some really great feedback.
Thank you for that, Sydney. And I am always super excited at any opportunity to get free food co-op. So with that, the other, let's see, other things I was going to mention. We've spoken a little bit about the different things that are going on during Deltopia, but I also just want to say something briefly about community safety. This past week in Isla Vista has been one of the scariest times to live in this community the entire time that I've lived here. I just want to say that I'm very thankful to law enforcement for the role that they played in apprehending the suspect in this scary case, and the role that they played in helping communicate the information about what was going on to the community. There were so many rumors going around that really just led to the heightened sense of anxiety that people had. I guess on a positive note, I've never seen people come together more in peer-to-peer ways to help each other stay safe, help each other. I saw people introducing themselves to people they didn't know and deciding to be walking buddies, after dark because of the threat that was in the community. And so I also we know that the CSO program, I think, was more utilized this week than at any other point in the entire year. Many CSOs I talked to said that they've never been so busy the entire time that they've worked there. And I'm really thankful to everyone who's on the call too, because I know so many of you are service providers and are playing a role in helping support our residents that have gone through the trauma of that situation. And I just want to really say a heartfelt thank you to all of you during this scary time for our community.
Thank you so much for that, Spencer. It really appreciated those words and those thoughts from you, and also the appreciation for community, for finding ways to keep each other safe and to keep us safe in the midst of everything else. It is always really inspiring to see the way in which people self-organize when those needs arise. And I also hope and I believe that there will be, this of course generates more need and more opportunities to really talk about what are some of the things that are happening, what's working well, what needs to be changed, what are additional resources that we need, or additional ways of thinking about how we take care of each other. So I do believe that over spring quarter, we will have some more conversations about how do we reimagine some of these community safety activities or models that we can think about using. So thank you for that. And again, just another plug and reminder that there is this afternoon at 2:00 that call in to continue this conversation, which is both about the events of the last few weeks, but also, if you just want to either get informed about those or you have concerns in a more broad sense about issues of community safety, please do consider attending that call in at 2:00. Are there any questions for the CSD? Okay, I don't see anybody's hands up, so I think we are good on that. The last report out on the agenda is law enforcement, but I do not believe that we have anybody here today to report out on that. So in that case, we are kind of at the end of our time, other than a small amount of time, if there's anything that is pressing in terms of any pressing issues. I had thought that we might have the conversation about these community safety concerns, but given that there is a forum for that later on this afternoon, perhaps that is the better place in which to have it. But please, is there anything else on your minds that you want to share? Anything that you would like to see on the agenda for next time? I do want to ask folks to start doing spotlights of the different orgs that come to Ivcn meetings so that we can learn more about the work that everyone's doing. So at the next meeting, I will have a spreadsheet that we can add names to if you would like to have a spotlight on your org in a subsequent Ivcn meeting. But so just opening it up then to anybody else of any other concerns you want to talk about. Okay, then it looks like we are good to go for today. I did update the agenda that all of you had the link to with some of the resources and links that were provided in the chat. I think that might be a good way to make sure that we don't lose all that great information on there. So if you want to go back and take a look at that agenda, you should find quite a few of those accessible there. And then on that note, if there is nothing further, then I will wish you all a great rest of your afternoon. And thank you for coming to the meeting, and look forward to seeing you again sooner than next month, but certainly next month for our next monthly meeting. Thank you all. Have a good
Thank you, Deanna. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Deanna, bye.